All right, I'm ready. I'm ready. Hang on. I don't want to break my glasses. I'm ready. Okay, so you wanted this, you asked for this, you told me this was good, well guess what? I bought it! Jeep Bumblebee to replace this piece of shit, and you know what? It's actually pretty good. Hey, what's up? Today I have Studio Series Offroad Bumblebee, or as I'm gonna call him mostly in this video, Jeep Bumblebee. And okay, yeah, this thing, it's... You know what, let's just start from the beginning. So I did a couple of videos a while back on the Volkswagen Studio Series Bumblebee, and it's not great. I really don't like that figure, and I said that in those videos that I didn't really like the figure. And people didn't like the fact that I didn't like that toy. Like, they really didn't like it if you go through the comments of that video. I mean, I have my reasons for not liking it. If you like the figure, again, good for you. I'm not going to tell you not to like it. Personally, I think it sucks. And I'm going to sum up why I feel like that. The plastic just feels like crap. The joints were terrible. The wings weren't accurate to what you see in the film. You see them like that in like one shot. And it just didn't hold together, especially in vehicle mode. This Bumblebee, however, doesn't have most of those problems. Bumblebee here is around $20 to $25 in the US and $30 Canadian, which may seem like a lot in Canadian dollars because, I mean, that is a lot of money for something this small. But let's just talk about that. The toy is based off the first mode that he takes in the film once he arrives on Earth. Apparently it's made to pay homage to G1 Hound, and it's a nice nod, but I mean, just put Hound in the film. I'd love to see a repaint of this though, as like a G1 colored Swindle. That would be awesome, and I would buy like all of those. This guy is also surprisingly more detailed than the Volkswagen Bumblebee, which is seen more in the film than Jeep Bumblebee. And that has to do with the amount of color separation and just the way that the places they picked to paint this guy were very well done. Like, they didn't just pick to paint one specific area and leave everything else yellow. They painted sporadically throughout the figure, which helps break it up and not look cheap, which looks really nice. And that's a flaw that the older version had, the Volkswagen version, because it just looked cheap. The detail overall is really nice, and I quite like how this thing turned out. The sculpting is nice. Again, I say the painting's good, the shaping's great. But now to talk about some of my, well, they're not really issues, but for lack of a better term, issues. This guy is the same mold as Cliffjumper. Check out that review, links in the description. This one being the original mold. So they both share similar problems with the clear plastic, and that's just, you gotta be careful with it. The chest has clear plastic on it. The backpack is clear plastic and is kind of stiff, so you just got to be careful when handling it not to crack the clear plastic. So go slow, or just bend it in specific areas. Don't bend it like at the top of the joints, otherwise it'll crack. But yeah, just be careful. But this is not clear plastic, but this little piece on the chest was stress marked right out of the box. And the hips are loose. But again, I did the tissue fix because I have no idea where my floor polish went to. But of the two, Bumblebee is definitely better than Cliffjumper. There's no backpack, the transformation's better, the articulation isn't hampered, and it just honestly just looks better in my opinion. I mean, if you like Cliff, good for you, but personally I prefer Bumblebee. Compared with Topspin, and he scales pretty well with Studio Series figures compared to Bumblebee, and yeah. Articulation is the same as Cliffjumper, but as I said, you get more range with it because it's not as hampered. I will say I wish this guy had the same level of posability, say, as Earthrise Cliffjumper, but it's still pretty good. Transformation's also fairly straightforward. Take the same precautions you would take with Cliffjumper with the clear plastic, and you'll be fine. It's not very hard. It's a very easy transformation, and for this being such a small figure, it doesn't have the problems that other small figures have where stuff bumps into each other and knocks it out of the way. So I like that. In car mode, I never thought I'd like this as much as I do, but I really like this Jeep mode. The arms kind of break the illusion a bit underneath, but overall, it's just an amazing looking Jeep mode. And again, I really want a Swindle of this. The Canon storage tabs are also stressed right at the bottom, right out of the box, which is kind of poo. But for the most part, I really like this thing. I mean, again, just be careful with those two tabs. They're very thin, and the cannon kind of holds the legs together a little bit better underneath. So you just want to be cautious with how that works. Next to other figures, and he's sort of in scale. I mean, Jeeps are not usually this small in real life, but then again, I've never seen this particular style of Jeep in real life because no one around here owns one of these old style Jeeps. But overall, it looks cool next to the other Studio Series figures. I will say, you don't really get a sense of how small this Jeep is until you compare it to a Legend scale figure. I don't have any Legend scale figures on hand right now, but I do have Hubcap still, and he's Legend size. He's a deluxe, but Legend size. So Hubcap here, and he's the same size as Bumblebee, and that really puts into perspective how small Bumblebee really is in car mode. But again, I really like the Jeep mode. I think it looks really cool. So in the end, is this figure worth it? Is it worth the $30 price tag stuck to it? And I'd say buy this figure. It's great. It's so much better than the actual Studio Series Bumblebee movie Bumblebee figure. And I would definitely recommend picking this up if you're trying to decide between the two. Don't even look at the Volkswagen one. Buy this one. It is so good. It's small, yeah, and it's not packing in accessories to make up for the cost. Like, you'd think that, but no, you get a backdrop instead that I don't care about. But it's sturdy, solid figure with nice paint, a lot of nice surface detailing, great color separation, and it's just overall dense and sturdy, and you're getting your money's worth even though it's small. So yeah, I'd say pick this thing up, and it's much better than what we got last time. So thank you very much for watching my review of Studio Series Jeep Bumblebee. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, subscribe, watch Bionicle Journey to Home. All the links will be in the description. Patreon and Coffee links are also there in case you want, because, you know, you could help fund the figures because they're expensive in this country. And I will see you next time. Goodbye. All right, I'm ready. Hang on. I don't want to break my glasses. I'm ready. Oh.